Hi friends, in this video I'm going to show you how I achieved this simple makeup look. This has been my go-to everyday makeup look for the last little while. I love it because it's easy, quick, and simple. It doesn't take a lot of effort and it makes me look pulled together and like I put a little bit of effort into my look. The products I'm using in this video are all drugstore products only. I did not have a drugstore bronzer, so I used something else instead. It's not another brand of bronzer. It's still a drugstore product. You'll just have to wait and see what that is. Also, none of the products in this video are sponsored, and I have linked all of the products down in the description below should you be interested in seeing them. So without further chitter chatter, let's get into the video. Lately, when I've been doing my makeup, I'm noticing that I'm skipping the foundation step and just using the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. I love this product. It's amazing. It makes my skin look really nice, healthy, glowy, and it just makes my skin look like my skin, but better. It's not foundation, so this doesn't actually give you coverage. It just gives your skin a really nice glow. I would say like a blurring effect, but it's not quite a blurring effect. It just makes your skin look really good. You'll see in a minute when I put it on my face. So I've been using this lately with concealer wherever I need to spot correct or under my eyes. Now, sometimes when I wear foundation, I will put this under my foundation. So I'll put this on first and then I'll go with foundation on top just so I get that glow from within. But absolutely love this product. It's amazing and I just love how it makes my skin look. Step one in my springtime beautification routine is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. So I take this and I just apply it to my face. But before we start applying it, I just want to talk about the doe foot applicator. I mean, e.l.f. does such a good job with their applicators in general, like their hydrating camo concealers. Amazing concealer applicator. It has a really nice, comfortable doe foot applicator that's a bit larger than most applicators that are on the market, and it just feels really good and applies product really well. So really love their doe foot applicators, and this one, awesome, really comfortable, pretty big, applies product really well, distributes it really well. Love it. I digress. So I take this, I'll put it on half of my face just so you guys can see the difference and why I love this so much. So I picked up about that much, and I like to take a damp beauty sponge and just pat this in. And like I said, this is not going to cover anything. It's just going to give my skin a really nice look. Like a nice glow, a nice dew, just like a healthy look without really covering too much. So this is what it looks like. This side of my face, Halo Glow. This side, nothing. It just has this really nice look to it. So let's do the other side. And I don't bring this under the eye because I'll be putting concealer under there. So I just bring it just up to the bone and that is it. For concealer, I'm going to use the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Multi-Use Concealer. This one is amazing. The shade I have is 100. I love how it goes on. I love how it blends in. I love how it sits on my skin. I love that it doesn't crease badly. Like, it's not creaseless, but it doesn't crease that much, like barely noticeable compared to the NARS Creamy Concealer, which I think this one's similar to. I find that the NARS Creamy Concealer creases a bit more than this one. So I like this one. The price point is much better. But what I don't love about it is the applicator. So it comes with this dome applicator, this sponge applicator here. And what you're supposed to do is twist this part, it pushes the concealer underneath the sponge dome, and then the concealer will seep through the sponge, and then you apply it onto your face. It's not uncomfortable at all, so it's comfortable when you apply it, but I just find it wasteful because I could be twisting and I don't know how much product I'm actually getting out of it. And sometimes I twist too much, and if I don't use all that product, it just dries out and it's wasteful. I digress. Let's apply it. I'm just gonna give it a little twist. Yeah, that's, see what I mean? You're kind of like guessing, am I using enough? Is enough coming out? And I will do this side. And I like to do down the bridge of my nose and a little bit here, just to highlight the top lip. And that's enough. And I take the damp beauty sponge and I just pat it in. Now, the way I like to blend my concealer is I focus on the inner corner here, and then I go over the lid, and then I'll come on the edge here and bring it out. And then whatever is left, I just bring that in and go all the way under my eye, just to make sure that I'm not getting too much product under my eyes, because I do have fine lines and wrinkles there. So I find that the product tends to settle more there. So I will focus most of the product in my inner corner to get rid of that blue, that I have in the inner corner. You can see it here a little bit, and cover my lid and then go out. So we'll go into the brows. The brows, I'm going to use my one and only favorite brow pencil ever. It's the NYX, and this is, I always forget the name, Micro Brow Pencil. I mean, this, I've talked about this in many videos, but I love this pencil. I think it's amazing. It gives good precision. It's creamy, but not too creamy where it wipes off easily. It doesn't disappear throughout the day. It blends into the skin really nicely, blends with the hair really nicely. Do you guys have one brow that you like doing over the other? I feel like everyone has that. For me, I like doing this one. I hate doing this one. So brows are done. I mean, we've done the best we could. This is what I'm working with. When you have really thin brows that you've overplucked and are just never going to grow back, you kind of have to accept that this is the best you're going to do each day and just hope that they look decent enough. For eyes, I'm going to use one of my favorite palettes. It's the NYX Ultimate Palette. This one is in Warm Neutrals. I love this palette. It is so beautiful and the colors are amazing. Guys, if you're looking for a good palette but you don't want to spend like a lot of money on it at Sephora, NYX. NYX has really great shadows. These Ultimate palettes are amazing. They blend nicely, they last nicely, they're pigmented, beautiful. If not, Sephora brand, their eyeshadows are also incredible. Highly recommend. But for today, we will use the NYX because we're doing Drugstore. So flat brush, I like to dip into this really light shade here. And I'll just put this all over my lid, all the way up to under my brow. We're just slapping it on. We're not trying to be precise. We're just having a good time. We're painting, pretending we're Bob Ross. Just a little bit under the eyes, all the way up under the brow. He used to speak so softly, and when I used to come home from school, I would watch his show, and it was so relaxing. No one knew about, well, I didn't know about ASMR back then. I shouldn't say no one. Somebody must have known. But it felt like ASMR. You get the same tingles, and I would just sit there and I would watch him and I'd eat my snack and just live my best life. So sometimes I like to pretend I'm Bob Ross painting my face. Okay, so we went in with the lighter shadow, and now just for kicks, to give my eyeballs a little contour, a little depth, I'll take a fluffy brush, just any fluffy brush, and I'll go in with this shade right here. And I'll just pick up a little bit. Again, I'm not trying to do too much, just a little bit of contouring, adding a little bit of depth. And this makeup, because I wear glasses, this makeup actually works really nicely with glasses as well. So if you wear glasses, try it out. Let me know what you think. Now I'm going to take this pencil from Maybelline, and this is the Tattoo Studio Smoky Gel Pencil. And this one is in shade, well, 40 Smoky Brown. So for a daytime look, like every day, I like to use browns as an eyeliner. In general, I feel like it's a bit softer. So I'll take this one. It's really smooth and creamy and gel-like, so you can really play with it and smoke it out. So I liberally just go along the lash line here. I'm not trying to make it perfect. I'm just literally going just along the lash line like that. Then I'm going to take a liner brush, one of these angled thin brushes, and I'm just going to smoke it out. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because this is literally just to give my eye a little bit of definition. So here we are, my attempt at a very simple, basic, easy eyeliner, just to give my eyes a little bit of definition, make them look a bit more open. For mascara, I'm going to first use the L'Oreal Voluminous Primer. I never apply my mascara without going in with this first. I just think it makes a huge difference on my lashes. It makes them look fuller, and it just makes the mascara go on really nicely. For me, this does make a difference. And for mascara, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara. This isn't the new one. I prefer this one to the new one. I did do a little comparison between the two, and I didn't really see a huge difference. And I prefer the brush on this one much more. You know, I keep saying I'm going to start curling my lashes, but I just don't. I always forget, and I don't. So we're not going to use the lash curler, because we're doing everyday makeup here, and in my everyday makeup, I don't use a lash curler. Okay, so here is what my lashes look like when I apply one coat of this primer. Look at that. Versus this one that doesn't. To me, it makes a difference. It already adds a little bit of length to them and a little bit of volume. For the mascara, I usually apply one coat on each eye, and I just keep working it through. So what I like about this mascara is that it lengthens. It really, really lengthens. Now, it doesn't add a lot of volume like other mascaras that I've used, but I find that for an everyday, this is really beautiful, and it just fans out the lashes really nicely. If I'm doing a night look, I will use this mascara and also a volume mascara, just because I find the two together really add a lot of volume and length to my lashes and just make them look really nice. For bronzer, I haven't really found a drugstore bronzer that I really love yet. Still on the hunt, so if you know of any good drugstore bronzers, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to try them out. But what I am going to do is take this NYX palette, and I have this brush here, and what I'll do is I'll dip into this eyeshadow right here. So I'll take a little bit of that on the brush, tap off the excess, and just use it as a bronzer slash contour. And it works like a dream, guys. Like, if you're ever stuck somewhere and you only have your eyeshadow palette, you can use the shadows as bronzer, blush. They work just as well. I mean, this is why I love having eyeshadow palettes that have a good balance of matte and shimmery shades, because I can use a matte shadow as a bronzer. Like that. There we are. Got a nice little contour slash bronzage using an eyeshadow palette. And then for my nose a little bit, I will take this brush and I'll dip it into this color that I used for the bronzer. And I'll just lightly, I don't always spend a lot of time contouring my nose. I just do what I can and say, well, this is the best you're gonna do today. And then I'll take my beauty sponge actually and just blend out my nose contour with that. And that's it for the contour. Now, when it comes to blush, there's two I'm going to use, a cream one and then a powder one. For the cream one, the Pixie blush, oh my goodness, I love it, I love it, I love it. It's so good, it's so creamy, and it just looks beautiful. This one is in shade Juicy. There it is, and I just put a little bit up here, like that. Like that. And then I'll take my blush brush and I'll just pat it on. I'm not going to rub it around. I'm just gonna pat it, bring it up onto my temple here, and whatever's left, just bring it onto the forehead here. I love a nice blush. I feel like blush is really youthful and it just gives your skin life. For me, if I had to choose between blush and bronzer, I would pick blush all day, every day, just because I find it brings a nice youthfulness to the face. Now we're gonna go in with the powder blush, and the powder blush I'll use is by Milani, and this is their baked blush. This is 05 Luminoso, and this is what it looks like. It's got a really nice shimmer to it, or glow. Same brush. Just gonna pick up a little bit, and I find that this adds a little bit of highlight as well, and I like to just pat this on my cheekbone up here. And now to blend it out, I just take the damp beauty blender and I just pat on top of that blush. And I do, when I blend it out with the damp beauty blender, I like to bring it closer to my nose a little bit, just to kind of give that burnt look, that sunburnt look. Not too much, just a little bit. For lips, for an everyday look, I'll go in with some sort of lip liner, and then I'll follow that up with a really hydrating lip product. So what I've been loving is the e.l.f. hydrating, what are these? Hydrating Core Lip Shine sticks. So this one has this center that is heart-shaped, and it almost looks like it's Vaseline in the middle. But what it is, it's a balm that's infused with vitamin E, among other things, and it really adds a good level of moisture and hydration to your lip, and it doesn't dry them out, and it also at the same time gives you a bit of color. So we're gonna first start with the lip liner, and what I've been using is Annabelle Big Show Gel. When I tell you, Annabelle is so underrated when it comes to lip liners, and they're so affordable. I can't say enough nice things about them. This one is in shade Meet Rosy. I've used this one a lot. So I'm just gonna line my lips. I don't generally overline. Sometimes I'll do a little bit of an overline right here. It's really interesting doing this when I don't have my glasses or contacts on. So that is the liner. Just something light, and then I'll go in with the e.l.f. It is so moisturizing and hydrating, and this one smells and tastes a little bit, but mostly smells like watermelon. I love that it's hydrating and moisturizing, and that it doesn't leave my lips dry after a while. I mean, it doesn't last like a regular lipstick because it is so hydrating. It's got that balm in the middle, so you will need to reapply. But if you're looking for something that's hydrating and moisturizing because your lips get dry a lot, these are it. These are it. So here we are. This is basically my everyday lately, my go-to. I've been really loving it. It's really light. It's light makeup. It takes me about 10 minutes to do. It just takes a little longer when I have to go through it step by step and talk to you guys. But it's a 10-minute look that I put together every day, especially when I have to go into the office. This is my go-to. I find that it's really light, easy, but it just makes me look pulled together and put together. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comments below if there's any other videos you'd like me to do or products you'd like me to review. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.